I did say I still tell him privately, the Iraqi oil is for Iraqis, and anything else is unacceptable. He seems to accept this.
When the President of the United States says things like that, how difficult does it make it back home for you politically to work with the U.S.?
It is very tough and very difficult because I think for a president or president-elect to say this, it brings up all these rumors that the U.S. is after the oil and things like that. And that can endanger the relationship. But I think the president understands very well, nobody can take Iraqi oil from Iraqis.
Abadi says that within weeks, Iraqi forces will recapture Mosul, the city where ISIS leader al-Baghdadi declared his caliphate. About 5,000 U.S. forces are providing support on the ground and from the air. The U.S. and Iraq are now negotiating how many will stay.
Will you allow that number to remain after?
We don't need that number after Mosul. After that, I think we're going to draw down the forces to a level which is acceptable, just to perform probably training and logistical support.
During their private meeting, Abadi thanked President Trump for removing Iraq from his second version of the temporary travel ban.
At the end of the day, Iraq was a partner in fighting against terrorism, a partner with the U.S. To include Iraq in a list, I found it unacceptable. So for the second round of the executive order, if Iraq was included, I think we would have been forced to do something about it.
You seem very aware of American politics. You made a point about saying the importance of building bridges and not walls. What did you mean by that comment?
The Berlin Wall was built for so many years ago, but it has collapsed. It didn't succeed in partitioning people. So I think building walls between nations is not an answer. You have to build bridges between people. I never think that walls can protect you.
When you walk away from that meeting at the White House, do you feel like you can trust the credibility of the American president?
Well, we're working with the U.S. system. I mean, this is a relationship between Iraq as a country with the U.S. as a country, regardless of who is in the White House. So it's not for me to judge foreign presidents and administration.
Now, the Trump administration is also helping Abadi to drum up investment and raise aid money to cover the nearly $50 billion in damage caused by ISIS. Now, Abadi said he's confident Iraqis can chase ISIS out of Iraq, but warned the White House to ultimately defeat it. That requires wiping them out of neighboring Syria. Charlie?
Margaret, thanks. Secretary of Defense Mattis has said previously that the United States has no intent of seizing Iraqi oil.
Wonder which page everyone's on in the White House on that.
You can hear more of Margaret's conversation with the Iraqi Prime Minister today on the CBS This Morning podcast, including more details on what happened during his meeting with President Trump. Find it on iTunes.